Alright, Garage Toys fans, followers, friends, lovers of Transformers. I've got three nice G1.5, G1 Euro, whatever you want to call them, Turbo Masters. So I've got all three of them. I hope they'll be up for sale shortly. So I just thought I'd do a quick transformation video, get a bit of a 3-for-1 in the same video, saves me doing individual ones. These are cool. Actually really getting into these G1.5s lately. I've sold quite a few of them. They're each supposed to come with 3 yellow missiles, but I don't have, they're not all complete unfortunately, but Boss is probably the most desirable one here, so I'll be selling them incomplete and the others incomplete. Anyway, we'll do a couple of quick transformations and yeah, that's why you're here. Hopefully to enjoy and have a bit of a laugh. Never had any of these as a kid, only recently stumbled upon these the last 3-4 years. I've had quite a few through my hands. I had a gem with this guy, but only had a couple of Scorch. So we've got the Boss, Hurricane and Scorch. This is only the second Scorch I've had. He's pretty cool, very cool vehicle. Hurricane, I've had heaps of him for some reason, and I've had a few of the Boss as well. Now, one of my mates collects these guys. He reckons they never pop up, and just lately, he's got a handful. He's upgraded them a couple of times over. So, anyway, I digress. Let's start with the Boss. So, that little missile launcher clips in, as you'll see from the sides. A lot of you guys obviously know this. You can laugh at me, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to pop his legs down first like this. So that's his legs. Then you bring his arms out. Like so, and that will show you that his missile launcher / hand cannon later on is connected on 2 little pegs on either side of the arms as a bot motor or the side of the car. So if you take one off, you minimise any risk of snapping a peg or anything like that, and then that just comes out really nicely. And we'll look at that a bit later. That just obviously goes in as a hand missile rocket later on as well. So it's a pretty simple transformation, to be honest. So those arms come down like that. As you can see, they come out like that, sorry. And then his head, just roll around, so flip his head on over, just pivots over. And then his whole body spins around, pivots around, and that's his front. You flip his arms down, like so, and then they bend like that, just to make his forearms come out a little bit and show off a bit more. And that's it, man. So that's Boss in bot mode from his sick vehicle mode, and then you can just pop the hand cannon, slip it there, and off you go. So he's a wicked G1 Euro. What do you call them, guys? Make a comment. You call them G1 Euros or you call them G1.5s? I call them whatever. Sometimes I call them G2 because I make mistakes, but that's the Boss. So I'll pop him there. We'll go next to the Hurricane. Now he's a funny little bot, this dude. And I'll show you what I mean. So you snap his sort of torso at half, and I like to just get this missile launcher out of there as soon as possible. So the base of the missile launcher holds on the peg in the back of his head, which we'll see in a minute. I just like to get that out of the equation and remove any chance of snapping that peg. That's the first thing I always do with these dudes. I've seen a few of these guys with these missile launchers with snap pegs. These bloody launchers go for 50-60 bucks a line because of that. And I've seen this guy with a broken back of his head. I've seen so many of this guy for some reason. I'm not sure. Was this guy common over here or anywhere? Someone let me know. I've seen this guy so many times. Anyway, you snap him in half pretty much, and that's his front sort of torso and his head. Just push it down as you pull it back because it can rub against the top of the pink sort of cockpit, and you don't want to scratch it or anything like that. So that's the top half of him. He's also a pretty basic looking bot. His legs fold down, form his feet, and then his arms kind of pop outwards to the side. They're strange arms, these ones, I won't lie to you. They're on like a sick hinge. I'll show you the back. Hopefully you can see that a bit better. Like so. And then you can just bend his arms at the elbow sort of thing. And that's the man in bot mode. He looks a little bit lanky. Not my favourite Euro Turbo Master, but he's cool. You can't go wrong with any of these guys. And there is a little hand cannon there. So 2 down. Let's go to Scorch. So Scorch as well comes with a missile launcher. Again, all these guys are supposed to have 3 missiles. I don't have them all complete, unfortunately. So it is what it is. So I'll slip his legs back a bit, and that kind of frees up his missile launcher. His comes pretty much straight up, so there's not a whole lot of risk of snapping that one. I haven't actually seen too many more damaged ones of these dudes. So the missile launchers are all very similar. They use the same missile. So his front legs sort of lean forward, then bend down. He's also got pretty weird arms from memory. Like I said, I've only had this guy a couple of times, so might have to have a bit of a guesstimate on this guy, but his arms come out very strangely. Yeah, there you go. So his arms are kind of locked in by the thing a bit, so they come down. Now it's coming back to me. And then they kind of go outwards. And they're on a weird sort of ball joint, you can kind of see. Anyway, you bring his bring the front of his sort of chest down, and that's going to be his chest as him. And then you flick over his head. Pretty straightforward. You flick over his head, and then his arms have little kind of hinges there, so you can flick out you can flick his forearms out. So I haven't got him out properly. You flick his forearms on over, and yeah, you pop his sort of top wheel up like that, so he looks a little bit cooler. That's better, and then you flop his forearms down. So that's the Scorch. He's pretty cool. Actually, he's probably my favourite. I like him better than Boss. He's the one I've had the least. So I don't know if was rare, is rare. I'm not an expert on G1.5, so I just 1.5s, I just really like them. So that's all three of them in bot mode. They're bloody cool bots. These guys will all be for sale in maybe today, maybe tomorrow, see how I go. Yeah. If you like G1.5s, let me know. If you hate them, let me know too. I really enjoy them. I don't have any in my personal collection. I never had them as a kid. I tend to keep stuff that I have an emotional attachment to. I either had them as a kid or one of my friends had them or something, so I desperately wanted it and needed it for many years, but I'm just happy to get these guys through my hands and pass them on through. Great fun, have a bit of a play with them. Not the nostalgia hit for me because I didn't have them, like I said, but still, man, cool bots. These guys are really cool. Obviously, only European releases, but that's them, guys. Keep watching. I'm going to transform these guys every time I get them because I quite have fun. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoy it too. If you do, comment, like, whatever you got to do. Subscribe. I've got a wicked giveaway coming up, and it's going to be a Transformers one. Thanks, guys.